Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Max, and today I want to talk about tier 8 mediums. Now, let's be honest, these tanks suck, okay? I think that is a universal opinion in the community, and if you look at tomato.gg and you look at the win rates, you can tell that that is actually the case. Now, why is that the case? Well, mainly because these tanks have low alpha, typically about 240, okay? Gun handling is not the best, camo is not the best, mobility is not the best, and they basically have absolutely no armor. In some cases, yeah, you can tank a couple of shots in the Centurion, but mainly even that tank will still be penetrated by most tanks of its own tier. In addition to that, with the addition of a bunch of new premium tier 8s, these tanks have become completely obsolete, but you will still have to play them, okay? There's no going about it unless you have a bunch of free XP and gold and you want to be skipping these tanks, you will still have to play them eventually. So, how can you be successful with these tanks and actually get some XP out of battles and have a decent amount of combined damage? We'll be playing the CDC today mainly. I unfortunately do not have a texture tier 8 medium, but the CDC is the closest that I have, and it suffers from exactly the same issues as everyone else. The only good thing about this tank is its mobility, but you pay with massive size, which is always a downside. And how do I intend on playing these tanks and making them somewhat effective? Well, you will be scavenging most of the time, if that makes sense. You will not be the one making plays, okay? You will not be the one that will be pushing and doing things. You will just be finding a couple of tomatoes on the enemy team that will be making mistakes and you'll be punishing them, okay? We want to make a tomato salad, if that makes sense. The goal with these tanks, most of them will be about 2,000 combined. 3,000 is good, 4,000 is amazing. Besides that, that's about all that you can do. Sniping with these tanks is typically not too effective because think about it this way, a tank peaks, you'll be sniping in the back, you do 240 damage, okay? That is not enough, okay? And they likely won't peak again. But if you look at the TDs in the same tier, they'll be doing 5, 6, 700 damage a shot. So you will not be too effective. Now, pushing wise, you don't have a lot of HP, okay? You have absolutely no armor, and camo does not allow you to be sneaky, so most of the time you cannot push too. So you're kind of limited on options of what you can do and how you can play, obviously. And you want to be playing back a little bit, you want to be helping your team as much as you possibly can, but you don't want to be the one that is pushing and making plays. As we can see, my Hellcat and the Skoda have done that, and they have both paid. At the moment, I'm not in a good position to be doing anything. I am intending on getting a single shot and then leaving, actually. And then I will be waiting for my heavy to kind of be playing, and then I can be playing off of him, peeking after all of them shooting, getting the shot in. Also, my crew is kind of decent, so my camera will be decent enough to be able to let me do stuff like this. And he peeked, he did not spot me immediately, which lets me get a shot in. And then I can fall back, obviously. But in a lot of these tanks, without the camo park on the crew, you will not be able to do stuff like this. I'm just going to go back into the same position and hopefully he makes the same mistake. But once again, that is not exactly a given. We don't know if it will happen. So we just want to be punishing any kind of enemy that is making a mistake. And this is also something that the CDC suffers from a lot, which is absolutely no armor at all. I believe it's something like 15-20 millimeters all around, so being penned by an SPG is quite an often occurrence. You will see it quite often in games, and you don't want that to be happening too often, obviously, because we have a limited amount of HP, and at this point, the battle is 1-2. It hasn't developed too much. I'm not expecting too much out of this battle, if I'm being completely honest, just trying to do my best. I think the SPG will be shooting at me again, so I'm just going to be moving out a little bit. Seeing if he's going to be attempting to shoot this way, and then, I move back in, which, he did shoot, but he did shoot my heavy, so that helps me a little bit. But you gotta keep in mind that any SPG shot, to this tank specifically, I mean, if you play something like the Centurion the T-44, not so much, but still, with a lot of these tanks, oh, this is bad. A lot of these tanks, getting shot by an SPG will be quite deadly, and you don't want that to be happening too much. Hopefully he misses. Yes, he does. I am stunned now, and that Skoda will be a big issue for me. We want to get them killed as soon as possible, but peeking is not a good idea. They have someone sitting in the back. I just saw someone shoot. That is the TD. I'm gonna attempt to peek a little bit just so I can spot them, and then I'll be falling back. Hopefully my heavy is gonna be shooting this guy. If he pushes too much, I'm hoping that my heavy can get a shot on him, and I'm not gonna be just completely killed by him. He's not looking, we get a shot out on him. Now he's one shot, he is dead. That is amazing. And so far we have 1.2 thousand combined damage, which is definitely not a lot. But once again, we will be scavenging. We want to keep HP as long as possible, because that is what we'll be using at the end of the game to be spotting and doing some additional damage. See, I wasn't peeking all the way up. I'm assuming that the Nomad is actually sitting in the back, so I'm not going to be pushing too much. The Skoda is likely making a mistake, but he will be taking a lot of my health points because he is auto-loading. But once again, I can't do much against that. My team is winning on the opposite flank, which is definitely amazing. I don't want to be shot by the SPG, so I'm going to be sitting like this. And now the Nomad kills my teammate. In this situation, I cannot do too much besides just attempting to spot the Nomad and the VZ, and then waiting until my team comes up to shoot them. The Nomad might blind, he will not, so it means we can pop back up, and if he goes back up again, we should be able to spot him, which will be quite nice. Once again, if I push up, I'm one shot to the Nomad. The VZ, I don't actually know his alpha, but likely also going to be one shot to him, so I'm not going to be doing that, definitely not. I'm just going to wait until the Nomad potentially makes a mistake. I'm going to set myself up so I'm almost all the way down. I have good gun depression on this tank, so that's going to help a lot. And I just continue waiting. I mean, there's like, I can't do anything. I got shot by an SPG initially, half HP gone. The Skoda pushed into me, most of my HP pool is gone, so we will just be sitting and scavenging. The Kust wants to go and push. I will help him definitely if he does that, but I'm not going to be going forward myself. And we just wait. We just wait until someone makes a mistake, until I can actually pen this guy. I'm getting some assisting damage on him, which is definitely not bad. And now the Nomad is making a mistake, and now we can push up. We get a shot on him. They still have a Skoda actually somewhere, and I don't know what exactly he is playing, but if he is in that bush, I don't want to be shot by him, obviously. Maybe an impermanent spot is also not the best thing, but I'm hoping that the VZ is going to be focusing. I'm dead, I believe. Yep, definitely dead. 2,000 combined is not a lot. Obviously, I think we could have done way more in this battle too. But that SPG shot definitely didn't let me do too much in terms of like actually being able to make some kind of play. We will definitely win this battle, which is a benefit, and I will skip to when the battle is done. And now the battle is finished. We did end up winning. We even made a decent amount of money, but we also got a mission complete, which is why we made so much money. We ended up in the top 5 of the team by the damage, top 5 by the experience, which on a tank like this is honestly not that bad. Once again, I want to highlight this. The tank is not only not OP, it is basically the opposite of what the meta is at the moment. You don't have armor, you don't have any kind of alpha damage, you don't even have a lot of penetration typically, and your mobility will not be sufficient enough to be playing too actively. Your camo will not be helping you too much. So the tank is kind of just a dud, if that makes sense. Same with the Indane Panzer, the STA-1, they'll all be played about the same. Yes, obviously you can snipe on them. Keep in mind, unless you have a good sniping position on the map that allows this, and you'll be able to be hitting shots consistently all the time, with people just out in the open and then you can shoot them, that's amazing, that is good. But in most cases, that will not be the case. You'll get 1, maybe 2 shots, and then no one's going to be peeking you again. So in those cases, you want to be playing kind of behind heavies, behind some mediums, not exactly sniping, but not exactly on the front line. You kind of want to be in the middle, if that makes sense. And a lot of this will definitely come with positioning and map knowledge, and it is not easy to do. In this case, they do have a Blesk, which I'm assuming you will be playing middle to spot. We do have a good amount of mediums, and they will likely be going this way. Now, I will not go this way initially. I'm actually going to sit in this bush and attempt to get a cross shot, just to get some assisting damage and some damage of my own. And then once I see how the map develops, I will be then making a decision on what I can do, changing flanks. Most of these tanks will be fast enough to be changing flanks. Obviously, the CDC is fast, like quite fast. So that is a big benefit to this tank. But even something like the T-44, the SDA-1, all of these tanks, maybe except the Centurion, you will be fast enough to change flanks if need be. And obviously you will not be locked into one flank and you cannot leave. So you gotta play that way, okay? You want to be helping as much as you can in places that you will be the most help in. And you don't want to be pushing too much, you don't want to be too much in the open. I'm hoping that I will actually spot someone. And then we can get a shot and fall back immediately. It might take a while until the enemies actually get to this place. That was a blind shot by the Nomad. Honestly, I was a little bit out into the open, so I should have expected that. This is a insanely common position. I just don't know if I'm going to be spotting anyone coming this way. If I'm not sitting like that. I did miss my shot, but I did not get spotted, which is definitely beneficial to us. Now we can sit back just a little bit. That Nomad is going to be paying a lot. And if this 252 ends up going, we can definitely get a shot on him. But something is telling me that he will not be doing that. And this Yoch is maybe going to be in the open and we can maybe get a shot on him, which would definitely be quite nice. But once again, I have a feeling that that is not going to happen just because my Persian has pushed up with him. We have a pilot actually making quite a bit of pressure on middle, and if we can get a shot on him, I will be quite happy. But the way that the map is developing at the moment, we have likely lost the east flank, which is not going to be too beneficial to us. I missed that shot again. That was completely bad aiming on my part, if I'm being completely honest. So, completely my fault. But I can't do much about it. I don't think I'll have a shot on the pilot at all. And the Nomad is hidden, so I'm just going to be waiting out a little bit. Since he is hidden, he's not going to be blinding us, so I can pop up a little bit and we get a shot on him. We fall back. And this is all that I can do. Like in this situation, yeah, I could go and fight the mediums at the moment, which I actually might do soon enough. But at the moment, I'm just going to be staying, playing my game, attempting to get any kind of shots on anyone, getting a little bit of damage in, maybe some spotting in, and that is going to be about it. Going back and helping on the east flank is a big possibility at the moment, but I don't think I will be making that choice. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Just because at this point, I kind of want to shoot a Nomad, get him killed. That would be nice. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to aim. Maybe I will. He is now dead. That is amazing. Yeah, I will now fall back and help with the mediums pushing the east flank. Just because penetrating the heavies frontally will not be easy. I think I have about 212 penetration. So in that case, I will not be that useful. I do want to punish this Blesk. He is just out in the open. So we did not penetrate him, which is, I mean, kind of expected. He was almost behind the cover, so I just shot his track, so that's not going to be too helpful. I don't want the Scorpion to be able to shoot me, and if the Blesk is using HE, he will be able to do a lot of damage to us, but at the moment, my best play is just going to be countering this Blesk, not letting him play too much. And if that is going to be the case, then we might have a chance of winning this flank. I want to get him spotted if possible, obviously. If that's not going to happen, that's totally fine. And now we see a Progetto. I am going to take a shot, which I am going to miss, which I should not have taken. I've not played the game in quite a while. It's been about 10-11 days, so I am making a lot of silly mistakes that I should not be. The Bleskich is going to be pushing into me, and I want to be hiding behind this if I can. He is going to die, I believe so, for that. And now we can get a shot on the guard. I'm going to go quite openly. No, we did not get a shot on him. Scorpion is still in the back, so pushing is not that good of an idea. Once this Blesk dies though, and now he has, I might be able to pop up into this bush and just see if I can spot anyone that is attempting to go this way. In that case, I will be getting some assisting damage. I do have optics on this tank too. Equipment wise, with these tanks, you have to keep in mind that most of the time, you will have to tailor the equipment specifically based on the tank, okay? You cannot have the same equipment as I have on this tank on every other tank, just because every tank is going to have some kind of benefit to it. This tank is fast. Some tanks might have some kind of armor, so maybe you want hardening, something along those lines. You want to be helping the tank with the equipment. I have made an equipment guide in the past, so if you want to watch that, most of it is still going to be telling you to just play a couple battles and figure out what the tank needs. But it's not that difficult to get to know equipment. I think he is in there. Yes, he. Oh, that's actually the Scorpion. That was quite bad. I don't know how he didn't get spotted after the shot. I guess he was double bushing. But I'm just gonna take some kind of blind shot. I'm not playing too well at the moment, I'll be completely honest, but with this amount of HP, I just don't want to die. So if any SPG decides to shoot me, I am basically toast. And we don't want that to happen. I don't know what happened to the Type 59, I don't know how much he fell back. But my guess is he is playing all the way back in those mountains. Maybe he's playing beside Scorpion too, I'm not too sure about that. But I'm not being spotted as I peek. So I have a feeling that the Scorpion has fallen back. And obviously I do have a opportunity to knock this tree down and attempt to spot the Scorpion. Is it gonna work out? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't want to be walking out just blindly, because if I do get spotted, I'm gonna be dead. So let's do this. We still did not get spotted. That is amazing. And now let's just see if we can catch that Scorpion off and give a shot to him. Might not be exactly an opportunity at the moment, but that is again totally fine. We will be shooting the shit back. That is amazing. And now, quite honestly, I know that my Scorpion just died, but I will be attempting to go up to these bushes and just hide behind this little hill. And maybe, if we get lucky, we can actually spot someone playing on the hill and get some assisting damage. Yep, that guy is playing all the way in the back. And let's shoot the Scorpion, get a little bit of damage in. This will not be a good game, likely not. But that is totally fine. I mean, that is just how it is sometimes. That type is still playing in the back, and I don't think, yeah, we didn't even hit him with a blind shot. I don't think he's going to be falling back too much, but if he does, we can definitely get a shot on him. The Gonzalo is going to likely kill him, so that is totally fine and totally okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a battle that you will see quite often with a tank like the CDC, like the STA, like the Indian Panzer, just because you do not have a ton of opportunities with these tanks. You won't be scavenging as much health points as you can, as much damage, I should say, as you can. Don't look at the high amounts of XP. I do have 5x on my tank, so that is why that is happening. But let's hop in the next one, and I'll get back to you once we find a battle. And we have found a battle. It is a tier 6 battle. You will not see this quite often, I'll be completely honest. With these tanks, you can expect to be in tier 8 battles all the time, and quite often tier 9, tier 10. So a battle like this is quite beneficial to us. The only issue with this battle is I do not exactly know how I could be playing this. I do have a good spawn, okay? And a good spawn, I mean by going up on this hill. And I will likely see the T-52 and the VK-28, which can definitely shoot HE at me and do a lot of damage. As long as the Lordain does not go to the hill, I think we will be okay. So I'm going to be taking that gamble. Again, I did say we should not be making plays. This is technically a play, but think about it this way. I am in top tier, okay? And my damage now is actually kind of sufficient to be able to be trading with people. I have a good amount of health points, and I might be able to actually pull something off. I could even honestly just ram one of the light tanks if they do end up going up, which is definitely going to be good to us. The Lordain is playing middle, which is amazing, and I will be attempting to get a shot on one of them. I'm going to be hugging the left side, okay? Because if I'm hugging the left side, then the enemies, the TDs, will not be able to shoot me. Let's see if we can spot the Lordain, get a shot on him, and then fall back. I don't want to be pushing too much, obviously. If this hits, that'll be nice. Yeah, we eliminate the T-52, and we do get spotted. And we want to be hiding from this guy. Just keep him spotted, see what he's doing. He is loaded in, so if we do peek and he tracks us, we will not be having a good time. Ooh. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. So he is able to shoot us. He's also using HE, which is honestly just insane. Okay, now since he is leaving, I'm also gonna leave because that VK is gonna be shooting us. I thought there was something behind me. That was just the event in the game. Okay, well, at the moment, that VK is not letting us play all too much. He is actually playing quite well. I'm gonna attempt to just pop in these bushes and see if I can spot him. Maybe spot someone else. Maybe he's gonna make a mistake. Maybe he's gonna pop out one of his bushes and we can spot him. But seeing that the T-52 has not seen him yet, it is likely not gonna happen. Let's get a shot on this guy and fall back immediately. Hopefully he does not get a shot on us, and the VK actually might, but I'm hoping that he's gonna miss, which is gonna be totally fine. Once again, we will be scavenging, if that makes sense. Like I'm not attempting to unload a clip because I'm an autoloader or something along those lines. You know, I'm just playing slow. I'm playing kind of passively, staying behind my tanks as much as I can. In this case, like I can obviously pen this guy, and as soon as he gets a shot out, we will be doing that. And we just fall back because someone is shooting this guy, so someone is definitely in the back. And we don't want to be too open to them. Now I'm gonna let my heavies push in and hopefully spot someone. I'm just gonna stay behind this bush. Hopefully they don't miss him and shoot me. That would kind of be sad and unfortunate. But I think at this point, I might have the mobility to push all the way up this way and attempt to spot some enemies. We do have full control of middle, so I'm actually going to be going up this way. And I will be able to likely shoot the EOC at some point. Yes, we can. And let's fully aim and get a shot in. We will miss that because he moved. My aiming was also not the best in this shot, but that's totally fine. We will be spotting the SPG, and let's actually get a shot on him. Hopefully he does not hit us. If he does, that'll be quite unfortunate. Someone is shooting at me, which is definitely not ideal. It might have actually even been the even. The VK can still see us, but I should be out of spot in just a second. I don't want to be giving that VK too many opportunities to actually get a shot on me. This guy's going to be falling back at some point eventually, so we can get a shot on him. And I think we can actually continue shooting him just because he is standing still. We will not penetrate him. Again, we don't have the best stats all around with penetration and stuff like that, but that is totally fine. We just continue doing what we can. Once he dies, I will be able to pop up and shoot this guy. I actually might do that now. He might be falling back. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. We will see about that. There could still be someone playing close to us, so I don't want to be openly pushing too much. Let's get a shot on him, and let's move up. He should die in just a second, so I am just hoping that he does not spot us. Let's get a shot on this guy, and we should be able to get a second shot on him unless he gets shot and dies. Amazing. And now we can actually shoot the Achilles. I don't even know how you would say that. We miss. With these tanks, again, gun handling is not going to be always ideal, so that is totally fine. Let's move up and attempt to get this guy eliminated. Let's shoot the VK also. He was terrorizing us the whole game. Fortunately, we hit a shack. Totally fine. It happens. Now we will have to likely go and attempt to defend the base somehow. I mean, the gun handling is just... This is the AMX CDC, so you can't always expect to be hitting shots. We should definitely win this game, and I don't think we'll be able to get much more damage and assisting damage out of this. My team is going to be capturing the base unless they hop off of it, but I doubt it. So overall, I mean, we have 2,500 combined damage, we have 3 kills. This is a good game on a tank like this, okay? If you played the STA, you could have played it identically. If you played the Indian Panzer, you might have not have enough speed to go up the hill, but I think you would have been totally fine. So the gameplay is definitely interconnected with these tanks. So just a couple of things to highlight with tanks like this. Because you don't have the ability to be doing much in the beginning of the battle, most of the damage and assisting damage will be coming at the end of the battle and maybe somewhere in the middle too. If you have the opportunity to get some early shots on Colossus, that is totally amazing, that's totally fine. Not all of these tanks will have the ability to be able to do that. And not all maps will allow that, obviously, too. So most of the time, you will be getting most of the damage and assisting damage in the middle to the end of the battle, so you won't be conserving HP until then, and you won't be playing passively. Once again, as I said in the first battle, you won't be making your tomato salad in the beginning, if that makes sense. You find all the people that will be making all the mistakes in the beginning, and trust me, every battle is going to have a lot of people making mistakes, and just scavenge as much as you can in the beginning. If you can get 1,000 damage in the beginning of the battle, the first couple of minutes, you'll be doing amazingly well, and then you'll be able to leverage your HP at the end of the battle to get some additional damage and some additional assisting damage. A good point is, obviously, you will likely not have field mods on these tanks, but if you somehow manage to have that, a spotting setup might be beneficial. In this case, my setup is kinda still for spotting. Also, I do have an optic on this tank, which allows me to spot some people at a decent distance. Definitely going to be helping you with just having some assisting damage on top, which is going to obviously give you more XP. So these tanks can be said to be versatile, obviously, yeah. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you can do everything. In all honesty, you can actually do absolutely nothing, which is why the win rate is so low. But once again, if you play passively enough, okay, and if you look at the minimap and you take all the opportunities that you could possibly take, you can do good in these tanks, okay? The second battle was obviously a showcase of not the best gameplay, because I obviously could have done way more in that battle, but again, it just showcases you the fact that a lot of the time you cannot do much with these tanks, okay? So you always got to keep that in mind. Think about it this way. Think about it as if you're playing a tier 7 tank, okay? That's basically what it is at this point, because all the actual tier 8s, all the premium tanks will be so much better than you that you might as well be a tier 7. And when you play like that, you will subconsciously be more passive and not push as much. And listen, you don't always have to push to get damage. If it happens to be that it's a 15-2 battle and the enemy team is just completely decimated within the first 2 minutes, yeah, you can still be pushing, you can still be getting some damage as long as you stay a little bit behind your teammates. If you have a light tank spotting, stay behind the light tank spotting. If you're on a heavy flank, stay behind the heavies. It's just how the gameplay is with these tanks. It's kind of sad, it's kind of unfortunate, but most people will still have to play them and still have to do good with them. So in that case, you want to be playing smart, okay? Hopefully this helps you out at least a little bit. And if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you want more content, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.